Hello everyone, my name is David. Today we are going to take a look at another horrible case with you. In every person's life, two decisions are the most important. One is their career, and the other is their life partner. If someone gets their favorite career along with a fun, loving and caring life partner, then their life will be like a perfect picture. The life of Manjit Pangali, who lived in Vancouver, Canada, was somewhat like this. But the end of her beautiful life happened in a way that shook the entire Canada. October 18, 2006, was the date when the news of Manjit Pangali's disappearance surfaced. But just 5 days later, on October 23rd, her charred body was found on the shore of a beach. After this discovery, the police quickly reached the crime scene. They then informed Manjit's in-laws about it. This news quickly spread in the city of Vancouver, that the partially burnt body of a woman had been found on the beach. Manjit's family couldn't believe why someone would do this to her, because Manjit was the type of person who always spoke to everyone with a smile. However, after months of investigation, the real killer of Manjit was identified, which surprised Manjit's family a lot. But in the end, to know how Manjit disappeared, who killed her, and how the killer killed Manjit, we will also need to know a little about Manjit's background. Manjit was a Canadian resident of Indian origin, residing in Vancouver, British Columbia, with her husband Mukhtiar Pangali and their 3-year-old daughter Maya. Manjit's family had come to Canada in search of a better life and settled in Vancouver. They had worked hard to provide their family and children with every possible happiness. Manjit had a happy childhood. Like every girl, she also had dreams. She had decided long ago that she wanted to become a teacher. Manjit pursued her education to become a teacher at the university, and it was during this time that she met Mukhtiar. Mukhtiar's family also hailed from India, and he had come to Canada to pursue his career in the teaching field. According to Manjit, Mukhtiar was a cheerful person just like her, which gradually made Manjit start liking Mukhtiar. Their meeting at the university gradually developed into feelings of love. After dating for a while, they eventually decided to get married. When both families found out that they both wanted to get married, they were quite happy. Manjit's family trusted that Mukhtiar is a good and responsible guy who will always keep their daughter happy. Additionally, Mukhtiar's family also liked Manjit as a good girl. Following this, Manjit and Mukhtiar got married in 1997. In the eyes of both families, they were a perfect happy couple who were quite friendly and cheerful. However, just a few years later, when Mukhtiar's true colors were revealed, Manjit had to face difficulties in her married life. Actually, Mukhtiar belonged to a conservative family, and his thinking was somewhat similar. According to him, Manjit should serve him, and when Mukhtiar returned home from work, there should be delicious food ready on his table. But now Manjit was quite troubled by Mukhtiar's behavior. She was a woman of strong determination and hard work. She had never imagined Mukhtiar's mindset would be like this. When Manjit told her sisters and friends about the difficulties in her married life, everyone told her that these are just the initial days of her relationship, and there are always some differences or arguments between every new married couple. She just needs to be a little patient. After this, along with Manjit, his sister and Manjit's friends also forget about this matter. Just as Manjit had planned the rest of her life, she had also planned her pregnancy in a similar way, and now she wanted to become a mother. As a result, 6 years after getting married, her dream also came true. In 2003, Manjit gave birth to a daughter, whom she named Maya. Manjit was quite happy and Mukhtiar was also very happy. Now Mukhtiar spent most of his time with Maya. Mukhtiar loved his daughter very much. Because of this, everyone began to feel that perhaps whatever difficulties were coming in Manjit's married life, they had all ended. But this was not true. After Maya's birth, Mukhtiar started drinking even more. Whenever he drank, he would stay out of the house until late at night, and when he came home, he expected his wife to have cooked dinner and be waiting for him. But Manjit, who wanted care and support after pregnancy, was quite broken by her husband's behavior. Because of this, Manjit slipped into depression, and the dreams she had dreamed were now shattering in front of her eyes. Now she understood how big a mistake she had made in understanding Mukhtiar, and she was not understanding what to do to set her health and future in the right direction. During this time, Manjit does not take any big step and stays at Mukhtiar's house with patience for 3 years. But in 2006, Manjit plans for her second child so that happiness can once again enter the house. However, due to daily arguments, she begins to feel that it's no longer possible. But then, shortly after, Manjit becomes pregnant again, and Mukhtiar is quite happy upon hearing this news. Suddenly, Mukhtiar's behavior had changed significantly. He began to love and care for Manjit as before. This made Manjit very happy, as she felt that she had regained his lost love. But she didn't know that this happiness was for very short time. Friends, before moving forward in the video, I have a small request for you. I want to let you know that behind the David True Crime channel, there is a team of 5 people who work hard to bring you the best quality content through thorough research. Currently, our team is entirely dependent on the YouTube Partner Program, but due to low subscribers on our channel, we are not receiving any financial support from YouTube. Therefore, we are unable to cover the expenses of video production. Without financial support, we won't be able to continue working for long. If you appreciate our efforts, you can support us according to your preference by visiting the link provided in the description. Your small support will motivate us to work effectively on the channel. Thank you. Now, let's continue with the story. On October 18, 2006, Manjit had left for her prenatal yoga class, but a considerable amount of time passed, and Manjit did not return home. The next day, Mukhtiar called Manjit's family and informed them that Manjit hadn't come home since yesterday evening. Upon hearing this, Manjit's family became somewhat worried. They then called Manjit's sister Jasmine and narrated the whole story. Then Manjit's sister also called all of Manjit's friends, but Manjit hadn't gone to any friend's house. In fact, whenever there was an argument between Mukhtiar and Manjit often left with her daughter without informing anyone, sometimes going to a hotel or a friend's house. Everyone thought that the same thing had happened again this time, and Manjit would return home shortly. But this time, Manjit's daughter Maya was at home, and this worried everyone a lot, because Manjit loved her daughter Maya very much, and never left her alone anywhere. Now, it had been a whole day since Manjit had gone missing, so everyone began to suspect that something untoward might have happened to her. Therefore, her husband Mukhtiar lodged a missing person complaint at a nearby police station on the night of October 19th. Apart from this, Mukhtiar also called all the acquaintances to inquire about Manjit, but no one had seen her. Now some people also began to suspect that Manjit had been kidnapped. By now, this news had spread in the media that a married woman named Manjit Panghali had been missing for a few days. In addition, in the media trial, Mukhtiar, Manjit's husband, appealed for her safety and return. We just wanted to make sure that in fact she was gone, like that we have nobody within our immediate family who has an answer for us. I need your help. On the other hand, during the police investigation, phone calls of all the members of the household were traced, but the police did not find any significant information here as well. The date was now October 23, 2006, and Manjit had been missing for 5 days. But Manjit's husband and family members became worried when the police informed them that a charred body had been found on the shore of a place called South Delta, and they were asked to come and identify it. When Manjit's family members went there to see, they found that the body was indeed Manjit's. Then Manjit's dead body was sent for postmortem, and when the postmortem report came, it was found that there was a girl child in Manjit's womb. This news shattered Manjit's family, wondering what sin their daughter had committed that someone brutally murdered her by burning. If looked at logically, Manjit's killer not only took one life by killing Manjit, but also took the life of the child growing in her womb. Furthermore, the post-mortem report also reveals that Manjit's death wasn't due to burning, but rather, the killer first strangled Manjit, and then when her breath ceased, attempted to burn her body. During the investigation, the police also found Manjit's car parked at a distance from her dead body. Forensic examination of the car revealed no signs of forced entry or any marks of struggle inside the car. Subsequently, the police first checked Manjit's background, but they didn't find any suspects who had enmity with Manjit. Due to this reason, the police suspected that perhaps the killer was someone who knows Manjit well. Hence, now the police's direct suspicion falls on Manjit's family members. The police first thought of questioning Manjit's husband, Mukhtiar. During the interrogation, Mukhtiar stated, "Manjit has been in regular contact with her college friend Tony for the past year, and sometimes they even went to dinner together." After Mukhtiar's statement, the police now doubted Tony, and then they searched for and interrogated Tony as well. However, upon talking to Tony, the police found out that Tony didn't have any relationship with Manjit, as Mukhtiar had claimed. Tony and Manjit were just good friends, and this fact was confirmed when Tony answered all questions correctly in the lie detector test. Now the police had to figure out why Mukhtiar lied to them. Therefore, the interrogation with Mukhtiar begins again. During this interrogation, the police discovered that there was a person in the families of Manjit and Mukhtiar who was quite close to both of them. In fact, that man's name was Sukhwinder, and he was Mukhtiar's younger brother. Sukhwinder Panghali used to live in the basement of Manjit and Mukhtiar's house. But at Manjit's insistence, Mukhtiar had kicked Sukhwinder out of the house. Sukhwinder was actually the one who used to persuade Mukhtiar to party until late at night and then drink with him. It was because of Sukhwinder that Mukhtiar's habit of drinking alcohol had increased even more. Manjit noticed how Sukhwinder's influence was ruining her life also. So she gave her husband Mukhtiar an ultimatum. Either she stays in this house or Sukhwinder does. Now Mukhtiar had to choose between his brother and his wife, and he decided to kick Sukhwinder out and stay with Manjit. After hearing the whole story, the police's suspicion directly went to Sukhwinder, but no evidence was found against him. It was proven that the night Manjit went missing, Sukhwinder was with his friends, which he proved to the police. After that, the police gave clean chit to Sukhwinder, but then they caught Mukhtiar again. By now, the police had found out that the relationship between Manjit and Mukhtiar had started to deteriorate just a few months after their marriage. When Manjit found out about Mukhtiar's daily habit of drinking alcohol, she scolded him every time. On the other hand, Manjit had hurt Mukhtiar's brother Sukhwinder by throwing him out of the house, which had bruised Mukhtiar's ego and masculinity, causing him to harbor even more hatred towards Manjit. However, despite this, there wasn't solid evidence to make Mukhtiar a prime suspect in Manjit's murder case. Moreover, Mukhtiar's family and friends also had considerable trust in him. But now the police decided to re-examine all the evidence. Firstly, the police noticed that the driver's seat of the car was pushed far back, indicating that Manjit hadn't driven the car himself to that location. Rather, there was someone else with him in the car at that time. Secondly, Mukhtiar had mentioned the location of Manjit's prenatal classes in his statement, and the car was parked near that area. However, during the investigation, it was found that there were no prenatal yoga classes in that area, and the actual location where Manjit used to attend her prenatal classes was approximately 15 miles away from the location provided by Mukhtiar. Consequently, Mukhtiar's lie was caught. In simple words, Mukhtiar told the police that Manjit's prenatal yoga class location was where her dead body was found, but in reality, Manjit's prenatal classes were far away from that place. After that, the police tracked Mukhtiar's phone's location and call records, and here the police found out that Mukhtiar had Manjit's cell phone, in which he had inserted his own SIM and was using it. This revealed to the police that on the evening of October 18th, Manjit had come to Mukhtiar's house. Hence Mukhtiar had Manjit's cell phone. By now, all the statements given by Mukhtiar were proving to be false, and then the police got solid evidence in their hands. They obtained CCTV footage from a gas station near Mukhtiar's house, in which Mukhtiar was seen buying an old newspaper and a lighter from that gas station. Although Mukhtiar used to drink alcohol, but he did not smoke cigarettes. So why would he buy a lighter and old newspaper? Here, Mukhtiar became a prime suspect in the eyes of the police, so the police took immediate action. Nearly 6 months later, on March 12, 2006, Mukhtiar was arrested in his wife Manjit's murder case. The police interrogated Mukhtiar rigorously. At first he completely denied the claim of murdering Manjit, portraying himself as innocent. But then after some time, his courage broke, and he confessed to his crime. Now the culprit was caught, but when Mukhtiar explained why he had mercilessly killed his pregnant wife on October 18th, the police were shaken to the core. Mukhtiar explained that after Manjit's yoga class, he took her home, where an argument ensued between the two, and this argument escalated so much that in anger, Mukhtiar strangled Manjit to death. Then, he took her body to a desolate seaside spot in South Delta and burned it so that the police wouldn't find any evidence. In addition, Mukhtiar provided the reason behind wanting to kill Manjit. Essentially, Mukhtiar had developed hatred towards Manjit. Mukhtiar's mind was filled with intense dislike and negativity towards Manjit, which became the cause of Manjit's death. Hearing this, both Manjit's and Mukhtiar's families and friends were greatly surprised. Subsequently, in November 2010, Mukhtiar was found guilty in the Manjit murder case, and he was also charged with second-degree murder. It was a murder that sent shock waves across the province. Former Surrey teacher Mukhtar Pangali strangled his pregnant wife and burned her body. Immediately after Mukhtiar's arrest, both Manjit's and Mukhtiar's families fought a case in court for the full custody of Mukhtiar's 3-year-old daughter Maya. However, in the end, Maya's full custody was awarded to Manjit's sister, Jasmine Bambra. Then, in February 2011, Mukhtiar was sentenced to life imprisonment. Crown Prosecutor Dennis Murray narrated the incident in the following manner, immediately after the verdict of the Manjit murder case. Mukhtiar killed Manjit immediately after she returned from prenatal yoga classes, and then he took her body to a secluded coastal area in South Delta, in Manjit's own car, and set it on fire. He delayed filing a missing complaint as much as possible. In December 2010, the Canadian police publicly disclosed Manjit's diary and letters. After this, several media houses extensively scrutinized these letters, revealing that Manjit was clinically depressed. However, she was making a lot of effort to save her married life. During discussions with media houses, a member of Manjit's family revealed that she had been struggling with depression since her first pregnancy. Mukhtiar not only killed Manjit, but also took 2 lives. She was so happy to be pregnant. It was something that she had wanted for a long time. So with that, the Manjit Pangali murder case comes to an end right here. If you appreciate our efforts, like and share this video. If you haven't subscribed, do so now. Thank you.